Have you seen? No, 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 no. We're gonna talk about this. Okay, for real. I'm not panicking. I'm just aghast. What is that abomination? This photo is to suggest the reason why they're closing the Disneyland Railroad and Tom Sawyers Island and everything on Rivers of America. This photo is to suggest the new route for the Disneyland Railroad, cutting right through Tom Sawyers Island. So, what do we make of this, really? What's the bottom line here? On the one hand, it makes me nervous anytime Micechat posts something because I don't think that they're just making this up out of nowhere. They're hearing this from someone inside Disney. You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe that there's, a rumor monkey on staff at Micechat just coming up with crazy stuff and posting it on the internet. I don't think that's happening. And there is logic in the sense that we know that Disneyland really, they want Star Wars Land to come off big. They want it big. They're not going to try to, half-ass it. So, I mean, you need land for that. So maybe they didn't have enough. It's possible. But on the other hand, didn't Micechat say they were gonna take out Toontown? They seem really positive on that one, by the way. And they also said that the Finding Nemo subs were good as gone. They felt pretty positive about that too. So take that for what it's worth. But more importantly, this just seems way too severe. So severe that I cannot believe. I have a really hard time believing that Disney would sign off on a plan this radical. You're messing with a true piece of Disneyland history. Walt himself famously drew, the island on a piece of paper and gave it to an Imagineer. He said, "Here, make this happen. Make this happen." I mean, just look at that again. That's a huge section of the river and Tom Sawyers Island they're proposing to take out. I mean, that changes everything. And by the way, if we take this sketch of that blue line literally, it doesn't end there. You can't just put the Disneyland Railroad track down there and call it a day. You need buffer. You need space between the train and the next attraction, in this case, Tom Sawyers Island. Take a look at the red line. You see how they've got the train going there. There's 30 or 40 feet of trees and bushes and space between that and the river. And you would need something similar between the train and Tom Sawyers Island. Maybe not 30 or 40 feet, but you need some kind of feet. So really, you're not just taking the tip of the island like they're suggesting in the article. You're not taking the unused portion behind Fort Wilderness. That thing is going to have to, the island would end before Fort Wilderness, in my opinion. And then what are you going to speak there? Fort Wilderness. What are you going to do with Fort Wilderness? Isn't that where we keep all the Fantasmic stuff, right? I mean, I just can't accept it. I can't accept that Disney would be okay with this. You've taken half the island. Why not just take the whole thing? And let's not forget, by the way, that Iger said that Star Wars Land is coming, or Star Wars is coming to Disney. He didn't say Star Wars Land at the time. He said Star Wars is coming, but not as a third gate, and not at the expense of any major attraction at Disneyland. And by Mickey, Rivers of America, the Mark Twain, the Disneyland Railroad, and the Tom Sawyers Island, those are major attractions at Disneyland. I don't care what anybody says. So here's what I'm thinking. I believe that Micechat does have some kind of access to, Disneyland Imagineering. But what they're reporting was part of some kind of blue sky conversation, that happens a lot, I'm sure. Everyone sits around a table and they're just trying to be creative. There's no limitations. There's no rules. You can say anything as outlandish as you want, and they're just trying to come up with ideas. This was one of those proposed ideas. It might have even gotten to thoughtful consideration, next level kind of thing, and that's why it got passed on to Micechat, not just as a wild rumor, but maybe it went up a couple steps in the ladder. And I'll even go a step further. I think it's possible. In fact, it's pretty common these days for companies to float rumor to gauge what our reactions will be. So it is very possible that Disneyland said, "Here, Micechat, take this little bit of rumor. We're thinking about doing this. We're not really sure." Just like they did with Finding Nemo, I believe. I think the Finding Nemo stuff was fed to Micechat, but they want to see how we're going to react. And they're going to find out. They're going to find out pretty soon because we already lost it a little bit just over closing for the Disneyland Railroad for a year. That people lost it over that. Now, tell me what now? They're going to do what to the track? They're going to do what to Tom Sawyers Island? I don't think that this is going to get past that stage. So no, I don't think this is going to happen for the two reasons I mentioned. Too much Disney history is at stake, and they would practically cut Tom Sawyers Island in half, and I don't think they're prepared to do that. And personally speaking, as a huge Star Wars fan, but an even huger Disneyland fan, if this happened for real, I would be legitimately upset. I would really, really be upset. So what about you, Fresh Baked? Where do you stand on this? How do you feel about them possibly changing the rivers of America like this? And what do you even think of Micechat even floating this rumor? I mean, unless like I mentioned, if Disneyland gave it to them in order to gauge public reaction. But if not, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about Micechat putting this out there. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts, Fresh Baked. Let me know what you think. And until next time, Fresh Baked. We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out our Secrets in History videos, or maybe our ride-throughs. Or you can just watch all of our weekly trip reports and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. It truly is the best of Disney Baked Fresh Daily. Oh, and don't forget, you can support Fresh Baked through our Patreon campaign, link below. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Fresh Baked!